All right, fellas. All right, my guys. It's all ready to go. It's on the burner. It's on the back burner. This is Deontay Wilder against Tyson Fury. It's going on tonight. 9. Oh, come on, man. Can't wait. Can't wait. Just can't wait. I think it's been some time now that I've been being excited about a fight like this in heavyweight. Used to back in the days. But right now, I mean, this fight. This fight. Who wouldn't want to see this fight, right? So basically, Wilder is getting another chance. And that's kind of surprising because usually when you get bum rush, when you get destroyed, when he gets annihilated, the way he's been beat up in the second fight, I mean, usually there's no reason why financially and sportively, whichever way you want to cut it, there's no reason why there should be a third fight. Obviously, because I mean the domination was so that it didn't require one. Now, one thing that Deontay did well is that he sold the fact that there was some concerning stuff regarding Tyson Fury that basically cheated in a certain point, or that Deontay wasn't like 100%. His costume was too heavy. The gloves. I mean, he had different type of excuses. The water that was spiked. So basically, it wasn't 100%. Not only he wasn't 100%, but Tyson Fury's side cheated. We remember the glove, and why you say there was some stuff in his gloves, or that the gloves were pulled, and that I mean it didn't totally fit the hand. So yeah, so there was some confusion. There was some stuff that was still suspended, and that didn't give the clear victory to Fury. Although I mean, when we're talking about your eyes cannot lie, I mean, we just saw a destruction, a total destruction and annihilation in the second fight. But there it is. Here we are now. We having that fight going on. That fight is going to happen tonight. And mind you, to be honest with you, I cannot wait to see this fight. And I do believe that is going to be a totally different fight. That is going to be a different fight than the first one, at least for the second one, at least for the 4-5 first round, where I do think that Deontay is going to be able to execute what he has learned during the training, because his cardio is going to allow him that. So yeah, it's a fight that I'm interested to see. All that talking of Deontay, that's going to be the occasion. I mean, for him right now, to be honest with you guys, if I'm talking about it in a few words, I mean it's redemption. Not only is it redemption that he got his ass whooped, like wow, we haven't seen someone got his ass whooped before, and that's just small to say. But also, to explain his defeat, he said basically that Tyson Fury was cheating. He's a cheater. And also that the costume was too heavy. He also came on his side, on his corner. Mike Breland got fired and said that the water was spiked, and so on and so forth. So now is going to be a chance as well to prove that everything that he was saying was not just an excuse, but now it's time for him to show that Deontay Wilder in good shape is able to beat a Tyson Fury that is not cheating, because mind you that Tyson Fury for sure is going to be under the scope. Tyson Fury is doing his job, man. uh, doesn't waste too much time on these allegations, just asking question about like how come you think that okay, if I cheat, why are you training so hard? Because that's a fact. uh, Deontay still trains hard even if he knows that he's cheating, because we know obviously that Tyson Fury is the most technical fighters of these guys, the one that moves the best between those guys. So I mean, if we're talking about boxing technique, he's a better boxer. Boxing art, he's a better boxer than Deontay Wilder by miles away, miles away. So yeah, so that's what Deontay needs to train. He knows what he's going to face. Bigger man, right? That is even maybe faster than him, moves more than better than him. So he had to train in any case, right? So here we are. We are at that junction now where the talk now has become cheap, and we are looking for action now, right? And we have these two big boys that are not. I mean, that must be at the peak of their physical form, right? Because I mean, even in age, there's not so much of an age difference at that point because they're both of them at age where you peak, right? So one is 32, Tyson Fury 32, Deontay Wilder 35. Number of fights, Deontay Wilder 44 and 31 for Fury, right? A little bit more experience, let's say, for Wilder. Although I will argue who has spent the most time on the ring, in the ring, I would venture to say that it's more Tyson Fury who has a lesser percentage of knockout, right? So number of win 42-30. Okay, nice. They both have beautiful record. Fury obviously no defeat, right? Wilder won, the one that was given to him by John, Mr. not John Fury, but Tyson Fury. 21 KOs for Fury, 41 for the Bronze Bomber. Obviously, the Bronze Bomber, as we can see, 98% average for knockout percentage. That's scary. 70% for Fury, which is not bad. So it means that, yeah, maybe he's not a knockout artist per se, but you don't want to get hit too often by him. 70% means that he's got some type of power behind those hands and behind that weight. 277 pound coming straight at you is pretty heavy. You got to be strong to withstand that. 6'9" and 6'7". Wow, we're talking about titans. We're talking about giants. I mean, 6'9" and 6'7". That's good because I do believe that size, I mean height, at least won't make a difference at that point. The issue is the weight, right? And the movement and the ability, the agility behind that weight, which is obviously favoring Tyson Fury, who moves like a lightweight, right, and can throw his weight around pretty easily. And he's got the cardio for his weight. He's used to fighting at his weight though, so which is pretty good. 238 for Deontay. It's pretty good, but I don't think it's a kind of a natural way for him. I think that's a bulk up type of weight that, in my opinion, if you're not used to carrying it, is going to burn more energy than being useful, to be honest. So 85, 83 for the reach, which again is not that big a difference in terms of reach. But we saw the kind of tactics that Tyson Fury uses with his glove, pulling his glove and extend it to the maximum to gain maybe 1 or 2 more inch. So is it a legal um, technique or strategy? I don't know. I mean, it's the referees that are going to tell us that. But that's how I think that, and the way that he throws his jab as well, kind of slapping jab to gain those 2, 1, 2, 3 additional inch, right? To add to those 85 and to this 2 inch advantage. Orthodox, both of them. But you know what? There again, Orthodox. I just watched a fight where Tyson Fury almost fought Southpaw during all the fight, and he was looking pretty good. So there's a strategy that I think Tyson Fury might use during this fight is to be fighting Southpaw for some time just to mix things up or to often switch to mix up Deontay Wilder. So this guy better be ready because at the end of the day, I think that's the one of the only kind of tactics he didn't use right so far. So be ready to see him like often switch from Southpaw to Orthodox. Nickname Gypsy King, Bronze Bomber, English American. So you see, guy, we got a big fight in our hands. Tyson Fury, man, always as confident as possible. Man, intimidating, and with that intimidation, there's some type of, I mean, you know that he can do it because he did it already, and you know that he's not confident for nothing. And his record show 30 victories, no defeat, 30 wins, no defeat in 31 fight. That's amazing, right? And when he speaks, now people start to listen and people start to believe that he can do what he said he was going to do. 277 pound. Wow, that's heavy, and you would expect to have some type of guy that is coming here very slow. That you know that the strategy to beat him would be the movement and all that, but no. Actually, you got the 277 that is faster and more agile than the other guy. So that comes out as a surprise. But 277-pound agile, that is scary. And when it's threatening, you've got the lesson, especially when you've taken a whooping in the previous fight. So that's what he's coming on with, and you got redemption time for Deontay Wilder. I mean, redemption time again, like I was saying, redemption time for the whipping, and redemption time to for all these excuses. He better not lose this one, right? So the table is set. Both fighters believe they're going to knock out the other. We are going to sit on the first row to see and witness, right, history, right? We're gonna sit down and witness history, and after that, well, I think I don't know if there's going to be whether no matter who's going to win or who's going to lose. I'm not sure if there's going to be a fourth fight. That would be kind of amazing. But after that, well, we'll see where these two guys go, right? Obviously, I do believe that the one that has the most pressure on him currently would be obviously Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder, in a sense, because if he loses, and especially if he loses badly, because if he loses, I think that Wilder cannot lose quietly. If he loses, he's going to be on his back. Whether the towel is going to be thrown again, which will be very ironical, or whether he's just going to be knocked down, knocked out by the technically knocked down by the accumulation of punches. But that would be kind of ironic if his corner throws the towel again. So a defeat for Wilder would be disastrous, I believe, right? Especially after all this talking about cheating and all that stuff. I mean, you can already see the headlines. A defeat on the side of Tyson Fury, well, it's just another day, man. He loses. He already proven that he could beat Deontay Wilder in the first and the second one, more in the second one, because the first, I do believe the first, it was a draw, or yeah, it was a draw, the first one. I don't think that Tyson Fury won. But he definitely beat him in the second fight, regardless if we say that he has cheated or stuff like that. But it's not like we've seen that Deontay was so good technically, uh, boxing wise, right? And that Tyson Fury just won because he threw a punch and there was something in his gloves and he rattled Deontay Wilder. No, he dominated style wise, boxing art wise. So this is totally this is I think in my opinion is totally different, totally different. Now, so there it is, man. Can't wait tonight. Can't wait tonight. But when we look at this, right? I mean, after the second fight, uh, man, let's go and let's try to see if there's really a chance for Deontay Wilder to redeem himself. What are the keys to victory for? Let's start by our good friend John Tyson Fury. Why am I saying always John? Let's start by our good friend Tyson Fury. Well. To be honest with you, I don't think that Tyson Fury has to change a lot of things. I think that the strategy that he used in the second round to be super aggressive to walk Deontay Wilder back to walk him down was and to brutalize him, right? Was the correct strategy based on what they've seen, and that Deontay Wilder couldn't fight walking back, and also his power is also less threatening when he's walking when he's fighting backwards. So the tactic was amazing. The tactic was great, right? And obviously he made him carry his weight when he had to when they were in the clinch. He was making him carry his weight, pushing him around, making him tiring him up, you know. So yeah, that was the perfect strategy. And at the end of the day, when you think about it, he's got like all sorts of strategy that he can use because he's so uh, um, talented I would say in a way. He's so technical. He knows his ABC and more in boxing, right? On his side, nothing to change for now. Like I was saying, in any case, with the versatility that he has, he can change game plan on a dot. So nothing to worry about on the different tools and strategy that he can use. Right, his coach and himself has to be very vigilant to try to identify certain holes in Deontay Wilder's game, and then try to take advantage of them. And also, one thing that I was talking previously in the intro is just that maybe he's going to try a little bit more. Something that I think he didn't try in the first and second is to fight more southpaw. I saw him fight southpaw, and he looked pretty good. So he might try to mix it up with Deontay Wilder southpaw style and switch back, orthodox southpaw pretty often during the fight. I'm pretty sure, and maybe saddle to for the one that is more effective, for the strategy that is the most effective. So that's what I see for Tyson Fury. Not much. I mean, he's got his 277 pound. Maybe he worked on his power. Maybe he really wants to make a statement in terms of saying that, yeah, now I got knocked out power, because I think that that's the only thing. If he has to prove something, he has to prove that he can knock him out cold, and that he won't get up, and that nobody has to throw the towel, right? Yeah, still the same game, or and after that try to do this southpaw style a certain time as well, right? So man, keep doing the same job. I mean, it's in the driver's seat, right? I don't think that anybody can tell me that Tyson Fury is not on the driver's seat on this one, because I mean, the way the second fight ended, nobody can say otherwise, honestly. The one that is a little bit more complicated now, and you can see the confidence that he has, right? I mean, he has so much confidence. It's totally crazy, and it's understandable. It's understandable. That's what makes us believe now. What are the keys to victory of Deontay Wilder? Well, the keys to victory of Deontay Wilder, to be honest with you, they require a lot of improvement. And he's one of the guy, I think, that in this fight has the more space for improvement, right? And that if he makes those improvement right, and execute them properly, he's giving himself a chance to win this fight. But to tell you honestly, he's starting second in this fight because of the difference of skill set between him and Tyson Fury, right? So what does Wilder has to do to be victorious? First of all, he has to understand what is going to be the main strategy. First of all, he has to parry the strategy of the second fight, which is he shouldn't allow himself to be bum rush. That's the first thing, right? He shouldn't allow himself to be bum rush, and for him not to be bum rush, and the reason why he's being bum rush and he's being walked down is because he's allowing Tyson Fury, and he has no answer for Tyson Fury coming forward and throwing his weight around, right? So I think that Deontay Wilder, the first thing, if he wants to win this fight, the first thing, right? The first thing. Let me start by the first thing, right? This is the first thing. If he wants to win this fight, this is the first thing. This is the second thing. This is the third thing, right? I mean, he went through a psychological shock, psychological shock in the second fight. I don't believe that he would have ever expected to be beat down so severely. To be honest with you, at certain point in time, his face looked like pretty scared. I had another picture that I wanted to show, but this one is okay. But sometimes you kind of saw the fear, like if like the predator, like if Fury was a lion, a predator, and Deontay Wilder was just a little gazelle, right? You could see. So this is the first thing that he's going to have. That's the first thing that he's going to have The first whole hurdle that he's going to have to jump over, right? That's the first thing. That's the first thing because nobody knows how he's going to react when he's going to see in front of him Tyson Fury still doing that stuff, like intimidating him, reminding him what happened in the second fight. And you know, when you see Tyson Fury, there's two ways to see him. You see him small or you see him big. If and already, right, he's a big guy, so even if you see him small, you're gonna see him big, right? Especially when he's in front of you, right, and he's throwing his hands around. You remember the press conference where Wilder has to push him, but man, the guy was shadowing Wilder, and his arms was all around covering him all the way, right? So that's the first thing that he's going to have to, to overpass is that, that psychological advantage that Fury had over him and that he installed in the second fight. And this is going to be the first one. The second thing that he's going to, and this is, I think that's what we call, this is a part of mental preparation, right? Because he has to also be ready for a freaking war. He has to go there and understand that the second thing, the same thing can start to happen. The same thing that happened in the second fight can start to happen, and that he shouldn't panic, and that he shouldn't start thinking about the second fight negatively, right? I mean, this is things that might happen. He has to be ready for a 12 round war. He has to be ready to bite his mouthpiece and understand that things that happen, that shit can happen during this fight that are going to, make him doubt, but that he shouldn't doubt, right? That he knows that he's in here for a fight, right? And that's what I think that these are the two first things. I mean, this is critical for him to even think about getting into that ring. If psychologically, mentally, he's not ready for this fight, he's stuffed. He cannot do anything. For sure, he cannot do anything because this is going to paralyze him. This is going to make him hesitate. This is going to make him think too much. This is going to he's done. He's done. So now let's assume that mentally he's ready. Now he's got to execute a certain game plan. Where he's got a chance is, I believe, the two conditions for his victory: control the pace of the fight. He shouldn't let Tyson Fury control the pace of the fight like he did control it in the second fight. He shouldn't let him. He shouldn't let Tyson Fury walk him down. If he has to meet him in the center of the octagon, and they have to fight in the inside and to fight for that control of the center of the ring. Sorry about my misstatement. So he's got to fight him in the center of the ring. He shouldn't allow. Oh, there can be a shared control of the fight where, okay, he moved backward a little bit, then he moved back forward, then he moved, but it shouldn't be a sustained walk down by Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury walking someone down, it means that he's walking him down, punching him, and not only punching him, or when they're in the clinch, pushing him backward, putting all his weight in him, so on him. So the guy who has to sustain this type of walk down by Tyson Fury is going to get exhausted pretty fast. Right? You understand what I mean? He's going to be exhausted pretty fast, and this guy is heavy, so he shouldn't allow that. And to be able to do that, I believe that, I mean, first of all, he has to understand that he has to fight for the control of the center of the ring. That's the first thing. And he has to hurt one way or another. He has to be a threat for Tyson Fury. He has to make Tyson Fury understand that if he wants to move forward, right, even if he wants to get into on the inside, he's going to pay the price. He's going to pay the price in the body. We've seen Wilder practice some combination body shots, right? Exiting on the right and finishing with a freaking right uppercut, right hook. Sorry. So I mean, these are all different things. He's got to be able to hurt him. He's got to be able to make him hesitate. He's got to make to be able to make him doubt. And I think that the only thing that can make Tyson Fury hesitate is if he understands that Deontay Wilder has find a way to increase his chances to tag him with his shots, whether on the body or whether on the head, right? And that okay, he's throwing the feints as well, so the shots are not too predictable, and that's what is going to make Deontay Wilder a little bit more respected and maybe even control the pace of the fight because he's got that equalizer, and Tyson Fury knows that if he lands flush, that can hurt him. But Deontay Wilder definitely have to remind him of that. Now, why is it so important and how can he achieve that? Well, he achieves that through the training that he had and the preparation that he had, because at the end of the day, the preparation is for what Teddy Atlas say, better his delivery system. We know what the weapon of Deontay Wilder is. I mean, Deontay Wilder is not going to go in there and try to box with Tyson Fury. Meaning he's going to box with Tyson Fury, but he. I hope he's not expecting to win by boxing against Tyson Fury. We know that Tyson Fury technically, right, got a lot more skills than Wilder. He's bigger. He's a lot more technical. He's got a better agility, better movement. I mean, he's got better everything. The only thing that he does not have better, even better fighting IQ, I would argue, right? The only thing that he doesn't have better is the power, right? And the only thing that Deontay Wilder has that can put danger and that can make think and that can make slow down Tyson Fury is his power, right? So we know that since that's his best weapon, and that's a weapon that can be an equalizer, he needs to have a good delivery system for this a combination or a strategy. Start attacking the body, hurt the body when the arms goes down, then go up there, upstairs with a combination and finish with your right hand, right? Stuff like that, right? So he knows he's got to improve. So now I think that's what they did, right? Because they know that his power is on the right hand, so they want to improve his delivery system. So let's hope that all the work that he did, all this combination, all these jab that he's throwing, that he seems to be trying to put a little bit more in his game, is going to serve for something, and the purpose being to be able to deliver that lethal touch with his right hand, right? So I think that's these are the things, right? And obviously, man, the cardio, physical, it's going to be important because definitely Tyson Fury is going to look to exhaust him and to make him carry his weight again in this fight at any chance that he's going to get. It's going to be up to Wilder to refuse all the strategy and reject all the strategy that Tyson Fury is going to try to impose upon him. And these are definitely, and uh, I do see, and even if let's say Deontay Wilder is in control of the pace of the fight, that's one thing. But Tyson Fury seems to be a guy that is able to fight backwards. So it's still going to be a chess game. It's going to be a more interested chess game if Deontay Wilder can do this part and avoid the total bomb rush, and you know what Tyson Fury just totally dominating and overpower him. So if he can do that part of keeping his game, keeping his side strong, and not allowing Fury to to bully him, I think that then we will have a fight. But for that, you would have to have a Deontay Wilder um, that is smarter, right? That has better distance management, right? And that understands that we're not only head hunting, that you can start with the body like it was like we've seen in the footage, and come up to the head after that, right? My fear is that you got a Deontay Wilder that is not very that sleek in defense, so he's not going to have that much time to be able to do that, right? So yeah, these are the keys to victory for Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder definitely. I mean, avoid to be walked down, right? So control the pace of the fight. The way if he controls the pace of the fight, then his cardio is going to be a little bit more better managed, I would say. He's got to do a lot of feints, right? And also be mindful that listen, follow up the strategy, follow up all these strategies. Uh, to at the end, all these strategies should lead to one thing. Try to throw that and connect that lethal right hand. So the delivery system, right? So not get walked down and just execute the delivery system. Good strategy, and I think that he runs a chance to win because this is going to disrupt a little bit some of the game of Tyson Fury. And if Tyson Fury start fighting backwards, it means that he's hesitating. It means that something is bothering him. It means that he's concerned about something, right? He's concerned about something, and he's fighting on the back foot. So that will be great, and we will have a good fight in our hands, and that's what we basically all expect, right? I think I made the turn, and obviously, right? Don't forget, the only way where there can be a fight is if mentally, Deontay Wilder is ready. If he's not ready mentally to believe that, oh man, this can be a war. I might punch him like 2 or 3 times and he's going to get up. He might punch me a lot of time. I might wobble, but I gotta keep going. He might win the second and the third round decisively, bullying me around. But I still have to keep fighting. I still have to believe I can do it and not, think about the second fight. So mentally, he has to be ready 150% for this fight. If he's not, I don't think that he should go in there because it's going to be dangerous for him. I don't think that Tyson Fury is here to play around. Not really. I don't think so. So this completes it. We know now that both fighters can actually win. Obviously, to be honest with you, if you ask me my prediction, and if you ask me, okay, and if you tell me that, okay, it's your life and you have to choose one of the fighters, to be honest with you, I'll go with Tyson Fury all day. What he showed in the second fight was humongous. That was total domination, total destruction of Deontay Wilder. And regardless, I don't know where the cheating of the glove, the spiking of the water would have impacted. But when you look stylistically and you look at the skills that was demonstrated during this fight, Tyson Fury was level ahead of Deontay Wilder. And especially if he cannot land that massive right hand, correct? Yeah, you know that. So now, what's my prediction, man? Like I said, Tyson Fury all day. If you ask me, if it's life and death, and I have to choose one of them. Now, the beautiful thing about it is that let's not play life and death. This is not, you know what I mean. This is not gladiator game, and you know what? I like a little bit of challenges. So, you know what? I'm going to go with the underdog. I'm sure that Deontay Wilder is the underdog, and by a lot. I'm going to go with the underdog, Deontay Wilder, because this means that I believe that he's going to develop a good strategy to beat Tyson Fury. That he is ready mentally, that he has done his homework mentally. He knows that he's going in there for a fight. He knows that he's going in there for a fight, and that is not going to be easy. So yeah, that's what I think. Now, um, and I do think that the work that has been done and the way that his coach commented it was interesting to me because he was saying that yeah, listen, I didn't teach him anything new that okay, he's going to look good on TV and it's brand new, but that when he's going to be in the thick of the action, he's going to forget because it's so new, right? It's not already in his subconscious that he can throw that punch sleeping, right? He taught him, he reminded him like the different tools that he used to use, that he used but that he didn't use for a certain time, and then he brought them back and They were already there, so they're already in the subconscious, and they already know how to use it. It's just now the automatic mechanism of using them on a daily basis every time, right? That he had to work with now. So that's what it was interesting about the thing that we think were new, but that in fact weren't new, right? But were not used before because the power was so much overwhelming and overshadowing all of these other different tools: the jab, the hook, the uppercut, the movement, the head movement. I mean, all these things shot to the body. All these things were forgotten because what? Because we had that massive equalizer, that massive hammer punch that can shut down the lights every second of the 3 minutes and of the fight, right? So yeah, I'll go with Wilder, but like I was saying, it's difficult to go against Fury if we are realistic because like I was saying earlier, whether you talk about the weight, I mean Fury is 277 and Deontay Wilder is 233, right? You talk now about fighting skills, how to throw a hook, how to throw an uppercut, how to throw a jab, right? Fury again comes first in that department. You think about speed. I would argue that Fury is a lot faster than Deontay Wilder. Where you talk about defense now, obviously he's a lot sleeker. Fury is a lot sleeker than they can, bob and weave, do the shoulder roll, what have you, right? You talk about what? You talk about agility. You talk about agility. You would have thought that 238 pound the guy would be more agile than 277, but no, that's not the case. You got a freaking bear that is now more agile than a freaking gazelle or freaking chimps or I don't know what have you, right? A freaking cat, right? So what can you say? Fury again on the agility side is a lot more. He got the check again. What have you? The chin, the chin, the chin. Well, you can argue that let's say they got both equal chin, but it's just to say that Fury is not weak at being able to to take punches. So this again is another thing that well, it's maybe not Fury, but it's not Wilder either. It's both of them, right? What can we think again about fighting IQ? Sorry, again, again, Fury comes first. I would say on the fighting IQ because I mean everything was about Deontay power, about Deontay knocking people out, but not Fury. Fury has to use certain other tools. He has to use his movement. He has to use his smarts. He has to use everything on his side to be able to win victories. Not only power, because that's not his main weapon. So obviously, his fight IQ is definitely higher than Deontay's Wilder fighting IQ. What else again? I mean, we can talk over and over again, and we're gonna realize at the end of the day, even we talk about heart. Fury's got heart. I mean, he's a fighter, but Deontay Wilder as well. We know he's a fighter, and we know he's going to come here with a vengeance, right? He's going to come here with a vengeance, right? And it's going to be amazing. So the only department where Deontay Wilder gets the check, right, is on the power side, is on the knockout percentage. So that's why. I mean, if there's one way that he's more susceptible to win is not by points, even if he's not getting walked down by or he stops Tyson Fury from walking him down because that's not enough because at the end of the day you still have to move forward and punch, right? And Tyson Fury can do a good job boxing backwards, right? So in any case, the power is there. That's the power that is going to give him that victory, right? So I do believe that though his delivery system is going to have has improved, right, and that he's going to be able to use it and to make Tyson Fury hesitate enough, right, and respect him enough, right, to allow for that right hand to land. That's basically what I believe, and I think that there's a good chance that this can happen. But for it to happen, uh, Deontay Wilder must have done all his own work and must physically, in terms of stamina and everything, must be physically ready for this fight. So here you are, man. I told you the stuff. I'm sure there's some and again, like I say, people, logically, it should be Tyson Fury if we look at the skill set and all that stuff, right? But in this game, you know what? The other guy needs to find a way, right? He needs to find a way, and there's definitely a way Deontay Wilder to win, and I do think that he's going to win it, right? And I do think that he's ready enough, and he has improved enough to be able to land, to be able to know to set enough trap, right, to land those right hand, to make Tyson Fury hesitate and land that right hand. That's what I believe, right? So for me, uh, Deontay Wilder is going to take it, and I think that he's going to win by knockout on in the sixth round, right? Because if it passes the sixth round, it's going to start to get a little bit heavy for and hard for him. Especially on the cardio side, but if he had controlled the pace of the fight, maybe he's going to hold on until the end, but not likely. So yeah, that's my prediction. Deontay Wilder. I'm going with my man Deontay Wilder. 6 round knockout. Yeah, no walk down and delivery system up to point. Here we go. Tell me about it.